In the last video, we have talked about X.25 network. In that, we learned that there are three layers: the frame layer, so the physical layer, the frame layer, and the packet layer. The packet layer, also called as packet layer protocol. In the frame layer, we have seen the different frame formats. So in this video, we're going to concentrate on the packet layer protocol packet format. Basically, the PLP packet has 3 bytes or a 4-byte header and then an additional optional information field. Okay, so we're going to talk about the header. The header will have a GFI, the general format identifier, that will have an LCN, the logical channel number, and a PTI. The GFI is 4-bit long, LCN is 12-bit long, and PTI is either 8 bits or 16-bit long. So in the GFI, or the general format identifier, it's a 4-bit long and it has a Q bit, that is a qualifier bit. Now qualifier bit tells you the source, or it indicates the source of the control information. Now if it is a 0, it is for the PLP packets, and if it is 1, it is for the high level protocols. Next bit you have is the DIB bit, or called as delivery bit. It will define which device should acknowledge the packet. If it is a 0, then it is for the local DCE. If it is a 1, the remote DTE must acknowledge the packet. Now DCE and DTE we have already covered in the previous videos. The DTE, you can take it as any user station, and DCEs are interconnecting nodes. Then the last 2 bits of the GFI indicates the size of the sequence numbers. Now we know the packets sent and the packets that are received have all different sequence numbers. Now whatever message is divided into packets, we give each packet sequence number so as the receiver can segregate all this packet and the message is constructed out of these packets. So it is very essential to have the sequence numbers. Now this sequence number, the size of it will depend on this 2 bits of the GFI. If it is 0, 1, the sequence number will be 3-bit long. So you can have 2 raised to 3 sequence numbers, that is maximum 8 sequence numbers for that particular packets. So only 8 packets can go in that message. Then you have 10. 10 means sequence numbers are 7-bit long. So you can have 2 raised to 7, that is 128 sequence numbers. Next in the packet format is the LCN, logical channel number. What is a logical channel number? We know that X.25 uses virtual circuits for communication. Now one single physical link has multiple virtual circuits, so we need virtual circuit identifiers. We have talked about this in the previous video. So each of this virtual circuits will have virtual circuit identifiers called as logical channel number. And the last part of the header is the packet type identifier, which is either 8-bit long or 16-bit long. It indicates the type of the packet that is sent. Then the different types of PLP packets are basically the data packet and the control packet. Now the control packets can be divided into 2, or I can say there are 3 special control packets. That is the receive ready, receive not ready, and the reject. And then there are other control packets for establishing the connection and the disconnecting the SVC and so on. So we'll just take a look at these packets. The data packet. Now here if you see, the data packet is used for transmitting user data, and over here you can see the LSB of the 3rd byte is a 0, the marked in yellow. If that is a 0, this 0 indicates that this packet is a data packet. Then you can see over here is your GFI, the general format identifier with its qubit, dbit, and then 0, 1. As I told you, these last 2 bits indicate the size of the sequence numbers. Okay, now what sequence numbers? Over here you have the PR, or a packet receive, and you have PS, that is packet send. And we know that the sequence number that is indicated by the packet send is the number of the packet that you are sending, and the PR is the packet number that is expected next by the receiver. Okay, then you have the M bit. This M bit indicates or tells you if it is it's called as a more bit. So if at all the unit has more packets, then the M bit will be set to 1. If the packet is the last packet in that particular unit or the message, then it will be set to 0. Okay, another thing you have to see, then there are 2 types of packets. One is a short packet, one is long packet. The short packet has 3 byte header. Why is it 3 byte? Because the sequence numbers are 3 bit long, and the right hand side, the figure B, is a long type of data packet, because you can see the last 2 bits of GFI are 1, 0, which tells us it is a 7 bit long sequence number. So with that you have the header as 4 byte. The short type of data packet has 3 byte of header. The remaining portion of the packet will contain the user data. Next are the control packets, the special control packets, the RR, the RNR, and the REJ packet. Now, how do we identify this packet? The first thing is, in the last 2 or the list LSBs, the 2 LSB of the third byte are set to 0, 1. They highlighted in yellow. If it is 0, 1, we know that this is either a RR, RNR, or a reject packet. Again, it has the GFI, as you can see, the QD and 0, 1 or 1, 0, and then you have the LCN, logical channel number, but you don't see a packet send sequence number in the control packet. Since it's a control packet, it will only have the packet receive or the PR number, but what it has is additional is a packet type. This packet type will tell you either it is an RR, RNR, or REJ. So if it is 0, 0, 0, it is RR. 0, 0, 0, it is RR, that is receive ready. So what it means is, it acknowledges the receipt of the packet by indicating the number of the next expected packet in PR. So it is expecting a next packet. So whatever. So sequence number -1 is the packet that it has been received by the receiver. Then if the packet type is 0, 0, 1, it is received not ready. So what happens in this case is, the device cannot accept packets at this time. So the other party must stop sending any packets as soon as this packet is received. So the sending party should not be sending more packets. So it has to wait till it gets RR. Then last one is the REJ. So if it is 0, 1, 0. So REJ means that there was an error in the packet that is identified the PR number, the PR field. Then the other party must resend all the packets, including and following the packet indicated by the PR, because we know that X.25 uses go back and error recovery method. Then you have the other control packets, and as you know, the other control packets will not have any sequence number, and there might be some additional information that will be there. But how the other control packets are identified? By the 2 bits in the 2 LSB in the third byte are set to 1, 1 in the header, that is marked in yellow. Again, it has a GFI, it has a LCN, and this time the packet type is of 6 bits long. So it gives you 64 different possible functions, that is 2 raised to 64. So you can have 64 different packet types, control packet types. It can have some additional information with the packets. Definitely not the user data, only some additional information or the control information. Then the first type of control packet is the call request or the incoming call. This is initiated whenever whenever you want to establish a connection between two DTEs. Okay, so whenever the packet is going from the local DTE to local DCE, from the local DTE to local DCE, it is called as call request. If it is going from the remote DCE to the remote DTE, it is called as incoming call. Okay, so there are facilities that are optional services that are made available by agreement between the user and the network providers. Okay, so it can have also the contractual options that can include like incoming calls can be barred, outgoing calls can be barred. All this can be done whenever you are initiating the establishment of link between the two DTEs. So over here, if you see in the figure, there's a calling DTE. We can call that the left hand side one, we can call it as a local DTE, then the local DC, the remote DC, and the remote DTE. So over here, whenever it is going from the local DTE to local DC, it is called as call request. And from remote DC to remote DTE, it is called as incoming call. So a response to this call request incoming call is a call accepted or call connected. So whenever the remote DTE is sending a packet to the remote DC, it is called as call accepted. And when local DC is forwarding the packet to the local DTE, it is called as call connected. So this is always sent in response to call request and incoming call packets. The third control packet is clear request or clear indication. Now whenever the transmission is over, we need to disconnect the link, so we have to send this clear request or clear indication. So either the DTE or DC can initiate the clearing. There's another function of this packet is whenever a local DTE is not ready for a connection, it can reply to the call request or the incoming call with this packet saying that I'm not ready for the establishment of the link. Then you have the clear confirm. This packet is sent in response to this clear request or clear indication. Next is interrupt. Now interrupt is a very important packet. The interrupt is a very important packet. Now it is used under unusual circumstances. So for example, the local DCE or local DTE is waiting for an acknowledgement from the remote DTE, and it has sent all those packets, the window is exhausted, and it is waiting for the response from the remote DTE. But remote DTE is not responding and the timeout is over. So what happens is now the local DTE wants to grab the attention of the remote DTE saying I'm waiting for your acknowledgement. That is where it will send an interrupt packet or a alert. Okay, so here it is used under unusual circumstances to break into an exchange and get attention by DTEs or DCs involved in the exchange and acts as a alert. Okay, and then there is a interrupt confirm, which confirms the receipt of the interrupt packets described above. That is there. Then the next one you have is reset request or reset indication. Now this packet is used to reset the sequence numbers in an exchange over a particular virtual circuit when the connection has been damaged to a point where the virtual circuit needs to be reinitiated. Now over here, whenever there is a virtual circuit between two DTs established, we send the data. But sometimes what happens that there's a problem with this virtual circuit, and so much of problem that you have to reinitiate it. So what we do is we have a predetermined point, and from that point we reinitiate the same virtual circuit. The virtual circuit is the same virtual circuit, it is just reinitiated, and all the packets are renumbered from are reset to 0. That's why it's called a reset request. As I said, the virtual circuit is remaining active, but the transmission begins again from a predetermined point, and all packets are numbered from 0. Then to confirm this packet, we send the packet reset confirm. Next, you have a restart request or restart indication. Now what happens in restart is the restart request and restart indication packets, they reset all the virtual circuits created by a DTE. Now this process is different from the reset process, because what happens in reset packets activate a new set of sequence numbers on existing virtual circuit. A restart packet start up a new virtual circuit. So restart terminates and then reestablishes a call by establishing a new virtual circuit for transmission. So if there was any packets that were there are lost. So it is something like whenever a phone call becomes so bad, you just hang the call and call that person back. So that is, you can consider that as the restart request. Then to confirm the restart, you send the restart confirm packet. Then you have the registration request. This is a packet which allows the user to do online registration on the network, and to confirm that, we have the registration confirm packet. So that is the end of this video lecture. Thank you.